All right, I'm back to recording. Hello and welcome.
Hello and welcome to hello and welcome to the post-show discussion of session 4 of Rumor Pinefrizzle's epic adventure through the Appalachia. I can't believe you didn't want to play Curse of Strahd.
I've just been reading over this fanfiction Dracula, and I gotta say, the one bed at the end thing has just been kind of played out, but it is a classic for a reason. So, you know.
Well, did it not twist the trope that it was one coffin?
You know? Yeah, it totally did.
It's actually pretty good, right?
It's absolutely pretty good. I'm so glad you stuck around, Dracula, so we can continue talking about this.
Yes. Anyway, I will let you two get back to your post-show chat. Bye.
Hello. Well, let's think about this session that we just played. I will quickly make a point. Although we said that this is for session 4, this is our 4th play session, but as for listeners, I don't know how many episodes this will have been, because sometimes I will end up cutting a session in half for various reasons. So this could be session 5, it could be session 6, or episode 5, episode 6. Who knows? I don't know. But that's neither here nor there. Andrea, any thoughts? Any thoughts as we come out of that last game?
Lots of thoughts. Number one, the opening visual and like audio cue of Justice's limp body smashing into a cabin was just brilliant.
Thank you.
I love that kind of like woo smack splat.
Yeah, that just like popped into my head. I was debating on like, you know, how I think initially my idea was like, oh well, he's gonna, you know, he has run out into the middle of this field. It's actually come to life, and you'll pop up and you'll just see a fist of this stone golem like punching the ground, and him having to like jump out of the way. And I was like, that's shit. That's not what I want. I want him to be thrown back over to you, because that also kind of potentially pulls you into the conflict. It means you're not just observing this.
Mm-hmm.
The golem's attention is in your direction, right?
Oh yeah, that was brilliant. Yeah.
Also gives like a very clear reason why the searchers have woken up, because they've just had a body thrown at them.
It's also just freaking funny.
Yeah,
it's
very Looney Tunes.
Really funny. Yes, exactly. So I had asked you before the episode started. So Ty, you're not hinging the entire episode on whether or not I would save Justice, are you?
No.
Because I don't want to disappoint you and just like book it in the other direction.
Yeah. No, I think when you asked me that question, which I appreciate you being worried that you might do something that completely destroys my plans. I generally don't want I don't want players to change what they'll do because of that. However, I feel that when people are worried about that, it keeps them from like completely destroying things, you know, like, because it means that you're not the sort of person that would worry about that is not the sort of person that would actually cause the problem, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've rolled some memorable snake eyes in games and just completely upset the apple cart.
Yeah,
but that makes sense. I mean, it would be such a shame if you're like, oh my God, this golden fight's going to be epic. Wait, where are you going? Like, what's going on?
But yeah, I think when you asked me that, I fully did not expect you to. I already was not expecting you to actually stick around. I was pretty sure, like, I figured that if I wanted you to get involved, I was going to have to put Jacob in peril. And
yeah, I was going to suggest that. Yeah,
and I just didn't. That wasn't. So that is to say that if I had wanted to get you involved, I know how I would have done it. And I did not do that. So
but Ty, she's been through so much.
She's been through so much. Yes. And she still hasn't maxed out her flee clock. So she is not fleeing yet. I mean, she isn't necessarily like, we don't know where she is right now,
Right.
but she did not just immediately bail. So
Okay. So just for me, like,
Yes.
night has fallen and it's blizzarding?
I would say that we have just hit nightfall. So it was dusk at the beginning of this episode, and I would say that as you were approaching the church, the last little bits of sunlight are disappearing.
Okay. Oh, atmospheric as hell. Great. I this was great, Ty. I really, really loved it. I love the little touches of, like, you know, the weird charms and the sense description of the squelching mud, and like it feels like you're going through it, which feels, I feel just like the kind of ordinary, you know, challenge of, well, you got to the spring, like, oh no, the worst challenge I've ever hit in this entire episode. Like, where the hell is the mill?
I was so glad at how that worked out, because I had been, right before we started this session, I had been looking at the Mind Palace Ruins move, and I was like, should I get rid of this move? Should I change this, dramatically rewrite this move? I don't know if it's working. And maybe it still might not, but like, I think that this episode shows how it can work, because I think that, like, it solved that immediate problem for you of, like, you know, knowing where this thing is. And you, I think, did a brilliant job of coming up with like a justification, a narrative justification for why you would have been here, right? That I really liked that, where you're like, yeah, obviously I'm always looking for better routes. So even if I'm quote unquote not supposed to be here, I might have come here at some point. I thought that was great.
Oh yeah. Oh, thank you.
Because as long, like, if you had just said like, oh yeah, I just know where it is, and yeah, I just know where it is. Yep, that it solves that. I'm like, okay, fine. How? I mean, I'm fine. I'm fine with you knowing where it is, but how do you know where it is? Please tell me how.
Yeah.
And I also loved the justification you gave for how you were able to slip out of the magic hand. The
tail.
Yeah, the tail. That's so good. That hadn't even crossed my mind that someone might do that. It's so good. I love it.
Lizard, you got a lizard. I don't know I can't imagine what it might be like to
so
like fully detach your tail, because like, it is your tail, right?
Yeah.
Like, presumably, like, it's connected by all kinds of tissues and things.
It's probably very unpleasant. And I mean, I imagine also it's probably the sort of thing that, like, you know, just based on what you said, it's probably the sort of thing that, like, might happen to a bold folk, you know, a bold folk who is one of the ones that would lose their tail, because, you know, it's not a monolith. But I could imagine how, like, maybe it's the sort of thing that happens to you a lot as like a preteen, and then it doesn't happen to you again. Like, once you're in your like 30s, you have your tail. You don't lose your tail for a long time. So you probably haven't lost your tail in like decades.
Absolutely. I mean, maybe there was something where, like, you know, Bree shut it in the barn door one day, and like, that was a bad moment. But like, the growing out period is probably even worse than losing it. Like, the awkward stub. Yeah. Like, it takes months, I'm sure.
Yeah. and maybe there's like, you know, maybe you know somebody who like has some like healing magic that can speed up the process, but like,
man, having someone have to like attend to your bum is just like. Also, all my pants probably have a hole in them for the tails. No. Now I'm gonna have to like drape a sweater over them or something. I don't know. So unpleasant. Like, I'm sure there's some way around it.
Have you ever?
But it's so fun to think about this.
Have you ever grabbed a lizard and had it lose its tail?
No. I think the only lizards I've ever touched have been like an iguana at the nature center that I worked at, or salamanders. I haven't successfully caught like wild lizards, but have you?
Oh, I mean, countless times. I haven't as an adult, because like, I think that as an adult, I've learned to be more gentle, and also I'm just not trying as much. But growing up in Georgia, like there are lizards, anoles, I think is how you pronounce it.
Oh yeah,
we would always call them American chameleons. Or we just call them lizards. But I caught so many. Like I catch so many of those things, and it would always felt like a real failure when you would grab one and it would accidentally lose its tail. And also, boy, it's effective because it grosses you the heck out because it keeps wriggling, it keeps going,
It keeps wriggling. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Awful.
I was thinking about like the lizardness of this. So like the northeast equivalent of that is probably like picking up cicadas, because like towards the end of the summer when they're getting slow and they're starting to die, they get stuck places. And sometimes you have to pick one up and kind of help it outside, and it just kind of rattles in your hands like a little vibrating stone or something. And it's okay. They're dry, so that helps. It's weird because they're like a big ugly bug, but there's something about them. You're like, I don't mind touching this thing. It's totally just of the location. But lizards, not so much. It's usually something else. I was thinking about, we were talking about how this is not going to come up in this episode, but how Rumor probably met his husband Gray at that annual dance thing that happens in Brotherly.
Yeah.
Right? Which were like, that's like the Tinder of the Three Brothers Mountains. Like if you want to court somebody, you got to go to Brotherly once a year, put on your best clothing, which explains the tailor trade. But as a lizard, can you imagine dating, Ty? Like, you know how lizards do that little push-up thing when they want to show off?
Yes, that little push-up thing they do. Oh my God.
Or like the animals do like the throat expansion too. You'd have no chill. Like the minute he would see Gray, it'd be like frill out, push-ups happening. Like, it would not be cool. It would be not cool at all.
I love that. And that does like just give me a throwback to all of the like, teen boys in high school doing like push-up competitions.
Yeah. Yeah. Dare me to I can jump up and touch that thing. I can hit that thing on the door.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much. Oh gosh. Oh man. I don't know if we need to do the formalized stars and wishes thing, because we kind of like hit a lot of the stuff. Unless you would like to. Is there anything that you want to?
I mean, so many of the stars I feel like we've mentioned, or I've mentioned like the call outs of things I really loved about this. I liked how you kept the momentum going. It can be really weird when someone is lost and hurrying at the same time to figure that out.
I will throw out, I don't know if I mentioned this, I might have cut this out in the edit because I didn't want to disrupt the flow, but I did mention to Andrea at one point that I'm speaking to the listener right now, which is why I referred to you in the third person. But when it came to like finding the mill, getting to the mill, the clock was just like reaching the mill, right? So whether that like anything that Andrea had said to make progress could have added to that clock. I would have called for a roll. So it was never going to be a question of like, oh, you said that you're following the creek, but really you should have been following that searcher that ran away, and you failed my puzzle, and therefore you're not able to like find this thing, and now I have to you're just going to be wandering aimlessly in the woods until you figure out the right thing. No, whatever you did was gonna potentially add to that clock. And in fact, the only way I would have not added to the clock would be if you had had a full failure. Even if you had like a mixed result, I would have just like added a complication, right? And the complications that I wanted to add were all complications that were going to help push you forward. So, for example, you failed some. I think you had a something with a maneuver, and then I put in front of you that there was this like ward. There was this thing that is like an alarm or a something, right? And I had a specific idea of what I thought it was going to do, but I also when I was asking you like, what are you afraid happening here? I was strongly considering that. I did consider like, okay, I want to ask you what you're afraid of here, and whatever you say might be better than what I'm thinking. Oh, so I could have taken it in that direction.
Is this something to save for like later, but can you tell me what you were thinking it would do? I could see it having any kind of effect.
So I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that you actually ended up presenting to me the idea that that this thing would be some sort of trap, right? And that's when I asked you, like, what are you afraid of? You were like, oh, well, Gray would be afraid of this being a trap of some sort that would catch him. And so the idea that I had was what ended up happening in the episode. The reason I didn't go with the trap, I did strongly consider it, was because I didn't want to create put a challenge in front of you that you'd then have to solve before you could proceed forward.
Right. It would get in the way of the actual momentum of the story. That's
yeah.
We've talked about this when you and I have talked a lot about like making mysteries in role-playing games. And yeah, like the mark of like DMing with this stuff is modularizing, making modular everything so that you can improvise and like pull out according to the point of the story and engagement and, but yeah, if it's like find the one key to open the one door, you'll be there for 8 hours. It won't be fun for anybody, and it doesn't work. But there's a million ways to curse somebody, and there's a million ways to inconvenience somebody. I'm curious. I'm really glad about the ways that I've been beefing it, even if I don't sound like it, just because it keeps adding more atmosphere and more problems in a way that makes the world feel like a little bit more alive. Yeah. I was not anticipating doing a Jennifer Coolidge impression on your show.
Oh, I loved it. It was better than mine. I was really good. Oh, it was really good. Boy, okay. So we've hit a lot of different things. We've basically covered like the all of the stars and everything. We've said everything we would on that. I will say, as far as like wishes go, I hope that I'm able to. I feel like the person with the rocky, stony hand. I think that I did a better job with that than I was worried about. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to sell that as creepy and it would just sound like a cool rock arm thing. But I think that worked. And similarly, there's some stuff that's like upcoming that I want to land on the side of spooky magic and not fantasy cool magic, right? And I'm my wish for myself is that I'm able to hit that balance correctly. So yeah,
I love that. The rumble before the thing erupted out of the ground was great anticipation. I am still not sure how Rumor talks to Brunt. So like, I know how he talks to Justice. I figured it's obvious how he talks to Jocko, but like, I want to make room for the interiority or like the stuff that's like driving him, because I know why he's here and I know why he's like doing this in the first place, even though it makes no sense to be like risking his ass on this mountain. But I don't know. I don't know if I have an elegant way of like bringing it out or conveying it. So I'm going to see if I can try that, or like at least stop like, chattering next time and like make room for it.
How would you feel? This is not a thing that I was planning before, but how would you feel about starting the next episode with a flashback to some earlier interaction with Brunt so that like you can get in it, we can see them interact?
That is a great idea.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Please, after we finish this call, remind me, like send me a little reminder note of that. I will make sure to do that. I mean, if it doesn't work, hey, listener, if you don't hear it next week or whenever this comes out, the next one comes out, it's because it didn't, we decided that it wasn't going to work and it wasn't good. We might cut around it. We might not do it. Who knows? But I think that you make a good point that like we haven't gotten to see your interaction with this person. We don't know why you care about this person other than you are cool and he is cool, right?
He is cool. I am not cool.
Oh,
yeah. But there's after this, I think there's something specific I have to talk to you about, like about this. But Yeah, flashbacks are so, yeah, because it would be so, I'm not entirely sure, like, if it would be very elegant to be like, knock on the door, consult, confront the next problem. By the way,
Yeah.
this is why I'm doing this, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like, if this was a movie, you would have flashbacks, or you would have like inner narration or something. That's a really elegant way of handling it. That's a goal for DMing. I really want to remember that that's a thing you have in your arsenal.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that.
I think that the Forged in the Dark games, Blades in the Dark, and other ones, the fact of introducing flashback as a specific mechanic, sometimes I think it can make you feel like, oh, that's the only time that you are allowed to do flashbacks is when you are doing this. But I think it is good practice and for somebody to learn that they can like mess with timing and mess with like the narrative flow, because I don't know if that's something that would have necessarily, I mean, maybe it would have occurred to me to do a flashback. I've done like dream sequences and stuff in SEQ. I've done like I have rarely done flashbacks, but it's not a thing that has never happened. But I do think that games like this do help teach you.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's possible. You could have a whole thing unfolding in the background while someone else is doing something in the foreground, or you can cut away at any point. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that pretty much covers everything. Is there anything that you would like to hit that we have not talked about so far?
Oh man, I can't think of anything. But this has been a delight. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you.
Whoever's listening to this, thank you for listening to it.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a little extra thing that people. I'm very curious. Hey, if you've been listening to this, send me a message at sidecharacterquests@gmail.com or at SEQ371 loud. Give us a shout. Let us know. How have you been enjoying these little like post-show things? Do you feel like it adds? Only bother messaging if you've been enjoying it, or if you have.
Maybe people have questions.
Yeah.
I've listened to a whole bunch of episodes too, and I've been like, oh, I want to ask like why he chose this, or why he decided this, or what this felt like. But then, I mean, I guess it wouldn't work really well necessarily because these get released way later.
Well,
but they're still.
What I could possibly do if somebody had a specific question for one of us. I mean, if somebody had a question, I could just like, play their voicemail, or and then I could record myself. And then if we wanted to get you in there, I could play the voicemail that's asking the question, and then I could edit in. Yeah, I could say, Andrea, call in and answer this question. Leave a voicemail. That way we don't have to like get online. But yeah, I don't know. This could be a crazy idea. It's really late in the existence of this show to try to introduce such a wild new bit of formatting, but I like trying new things. So hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. Thank you again, Andrea. Thank you, everybody that is listening to this. Until next time. Bye-bye.
Right.
Thank you to the Joy Drops for the use of Not Drunk as our intro and outro music. Thanks to all of our guests, and thanks to you for listening. You can find us and say hi over at sidecharacterquest.com or by checking out our show notes for more links and information. If you're enjoying the show, drop a rating or review wherever you listen to podcasts, and we'll see you around. Bye!
Previously on Finish It.
I jump on the woolly mammoth.
Very nice. Eventually, you become captain of your own ship.
You become the captain of your own ship? Life is harsh and simple with the cave people.
No, boy.
Vampire advances toward you step by step by step.
The usual way.
Does that sound like fun?
Yes, it does. I'm Matt Yule.
And I'm Chris Yule, and on our podcast, Finish It, we're going through all the interactive fiction books ever.
And we read every single page, and we don't stop until we got every drop.
We're going to juice these books.
Find us at finishitpod.com or finish it on any pod catcher.
There'll be like a little music playing and then bloopers.
It's
Hi, that was adorable.
It's amazing. Can I just make a quick point? It's been a couple weeks since Halloween. This is not being recorded in October at all. But anyway,
Whatever, man. It's spooky season.
Halloween in our hearts. All right. This is gonna come out in like March or something.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Amazing. So we never came up with a good ending for this, did we?
I
don't think so.
don't know. I mean, I love the pitter patter thing.
Oh, yeah, pitter patter.
Oh, you mean for the extra bits?
For the post show, yeah. I feel like I had a separate thing for the post show, but I don't. I think I thought of it once and then never again. Never remembered. Who knows? Who can say?
I mean, it's your show. You could do whatever you want. You can reinvent it as you go.
That's true. I think early on in the existence of SCQ, we did like a little. We didn't do pitter patter every time. We were constantly trying to figure out what our outro was going to be. So returning to that energy, outro is I have nothing. All right, bye-bye. Oh, no, you have something?
Now I'm on the spot to do a Dracula impression, but they were friends to lovers.
They were friends to lovers.
I love it. Bye.
Hey, I'm Brooke. My friends and I perform spooky stories on our podcast 13. 13 is a movie for your ears with immersive sound design and music from our composer. And we're not reading you the same old ghost stories from Reddit. With original stories from our in-house writers and submissions from up-and-coming authors, 13 will make you smile, break your heart, and have you wishing for a nightlight. Atmospheric, slow burn, always spooky, and sometimes sexy. Our friends are some of the best voice actors and writers in our little corner of the podcast industry. So if you want to find out why those figures in black keep meeting by the water just before dawn, why you should never sleep in a room with an empty chair, or why you hear faint music echoing from the abandoned mall, join us by following 13 wherever you're listening right now. That's 13, the word, not the number, all spelled out. Bridget Howard keeps asking for my teeth. Wherever you get your podcasts.